Victoria Jones, however, right now is on the line with us. And Victoria, hang on just a second, let me get back to the one sheet. Here we go. Chief Washington Analyst for the D.C. radio company. Victoria Jones, D.C. is the Twitter handle. Victoria, Scotland having freedom? Tell me what's going on here.
Yes, indeed. First of all, I just have to let you know that you might be hearing meows. So just, this is live radio, folks. Yeah. And I know you're okay with that. Yes, well, there are elections throughout the UK tomorrow, and Scotland and Wales will be doing elections that could increase the chances of possible breakaways. In Scotland, the Scottish National Party, which is led by Nicola Sturgeon, looks like it really is 50-50 whether they will, in fact, get enough votes for a full majority or whether they're just going to fall short. What Nicola Sturgeon has said she will do is, if she does get a majority, is she is going to call for a second referendum on independence for Scotland. Now, the poll of polls by the Financial Times, which does pretty good polling, says that actually the Scots are split 50-50 on this, which is really interesting on independence. And but many Scots do want to break away because they not only do they want to break away, but there's a lot of very hard feeling about Brexit. The Scots did not want Brexit. They voted against it.
Right. So to what extent is this Scottish sentiment not so much, we hate England, or don't want to be part of the United Kingdom any longer, but rather we love the European Union. We think of ourselves as Europeans as well as Scots, and we would rather be aligned with the Europeans and the European Union than we would aligned with Great Britain.
Well, it's definitely want to be aligned with the Europeans, and it's a deep resentment. Brexit was a very emotional vote, and there's a fair amount of emotion here too. Emotion against Boris Johnson, the Conservative leader in Westminster in London, and against former Conservative leader Theresa May, because they really ignored them and treated them, they feel, with disrespect and condescension, and they're very angry about that.
And what are the chances that if Scotland does, as a result of these elections this week, if Scotland does end up independent of the United Kingdom, that it becomes a democratic socialist republic? Is that what the direction she's going?
I don't think that she's necessarily going in that direction. But what's interesting is that she is not answering questions about the details of what her plan is. She's not talking about currency, banks, fishing, the border, any of those things when she's asked questions about them. She says there's time for that during a referendum campaign. Well, inquiring minds would like to know what her thoughts are about that right now.
Right. Yeah, I would too. And very quickly, I think we have about a minute left. The French are threatening to cut 95% of the electricity to the Isle of Jersey over this argument over fishing rights coming out of Brexit. What does that mean?
It means that Jersey could be in the dark.
Is Jersey part of the UK?
Yes, Jersey is part of the UK. It's sort of a crown dependency, so it has special status. The French have been very angry about this for hundreds of years because Jersey's actually closer to France than it is to the UK. But this is a very extreme reaction to a fishing Brexit dispute.
Oh, my. Oh, my. So how's that going to play out? I mean, is there a court that decides this?
Well, there could be a court that decides this, or it could be that heads are going to have to cool, because really putting everybody in Jersey in the dark just seems a little bit extreme. And, frankly, England and France have been at war since the 11th century, and it just feels like this is ongoing.
Yeah, since the Norman invasion, right? The French invasion. Do you think that this might spur Jersey to start producing their own electricity? Hey, let's build some windmills?
Doubt it. They live the good life. They're on yachts.
Okay. Victoria Jones, the chief Washington analyst with the DC radio company. Victoria Jones DC is her Twitter handle. Victoria, it's always wonderful talking with you. Thanks so much for dropping by today and